During July's 2018 City Council meeting, Margaret Fire-Robin was named Bristol, Tennessee Mayor for the 2018-2019 year. What you may not know is that not only is this her third time serving as Bristol, Tennessee Mayor, but that she was also Bristol, Tennessee's first female mayor. Here's Margaret Fire-Robin to tell us more.
I came to City Council through appointment rather than election. I ran for school board in the 1993 election. It was a big election for both school board and City Council. A lot of change in both of those. For City Council, I lost that election. And about a year late, less than a year later, after the new City Council had taken their seats, the City Council person in my district realized that it was not his cup of tea. It was not what he felt comfortable doing, so he was ready to resign his seat. In that process, the seated council had to find somebody from that district to be appointed to that position. I came to their minds because I had run for the school board seat. So I was appointed in September of 1994 and served for several years and became mayor in 1997. I was the second female on council to serve on council. Our current form of government was it changed from a commission government where the commissioners were over different departments to a city manager, city council type of government, which is the most highly recognized as being the best form of city government, being the most efficient, most professional. And that change was made with writing a new charter and making big changes and electing 5 city council members in 1972. At that point, Dot Madison was elected to city council, and she served as the first woman on city council, and she served as vice mayor, but she never served as mayor. So I was the second woman on our city council and the first woman to serve as mayor. Being the second woman on city council was a big deal, and before I accepted that position, I talked to the current city manager, I talked to the city council members who were interested in appointing me, and very importantly, I met Dot Madison, who I had not met before, and met with her to ask her what it was like to serve on city council, and particularly as a woman to serve on city council. So that was helpful for me to feel more comfortable in accepting the role of city council. Also, I'll say for me personally, I had not much experience with city issues. I was very experienced with education and educational issues, felt comfortable running for school board. Being appointed to city council was a whole new area of expertise and learning that I needed to do to be the best city council person I could be. The way that our city council works is we elect our own mayor, and frequently that has rotated. So after serving a couple of years on city council and going through an election, because when you're appointed you also have to run at the next election, which was in 1995. Then I ran again in 1997. 95 was the second year of a 4-year term to have to run for, and then 97 was the 4th year of a 4-year term. So I had to run to be reelected for 4 years. At that election, I was back on a regular cycle. So I was honored first off honored to be asked to be on city council. Felt that was very nice, very respectful, very interesting that I was selected to serve on city council. Thought there was a lot of confidence that the members placed in me. Then it was if we rotate things around, I became vice mayor, and then the following year became mayor. I can thank for both being appointed and for serving as mayor. John Gaines served at that time, and he was one to promote me as being a good person to serve on city council. I think that's primarily because I had run for school board, showed interest. Also with school board, I had attended their meetings for quite some time, so knew how a public body worked that would be helpful coming on to city council. Then for being mayor, John Gaines believed in leadership training and believed in giving opportunities to people for those leadership roles. He also has 2 daughters, so I think a special look at women in leadership roles, so he was a big supporter of that. But I had full support of the other council members who were Pat Hickey and Elmer Doak and Fred Esser. Currently, I'm serving my 3rd time as mayor over the extended time that I've been on city council. And the mayor in our community has a fair amount more responsibility, doesn't have a whole lot more power, but is responsible for leading the council, for leading the meetings, for covering public events as much as possible, asking other council folks to step up when that's not possible. For actual real power with our charter and with the way that we elect our own mayor annually, we don't have as much power as a big city has, or even Kingsport that elects their own mayor separately. Johnson City does the same thing we do, except I believe they have built into their charter that their mayor serves for 2 terms. Our counties have paid mayors full-time jobs, so that's very different than how we do mayors in the cities. As a leader here in Bristol, I have seen a lot of changes for when I first came on city council, when I went to regional leader event, government leader events, and some of the different leadership things, that there were a lot of men and very few women. That mixture is higher than it was at that time, even though we do want more women participating. We also had at one time, I think we had a woman mayor in Kingsport, in Johnson City, in Bristol, and in Abingdon, all serving at the same time, as well as a woman who is president of our Chamber of Commerce board. Also in our community leadership, the Chamber of Commerce, I think it was Pat Woody who was the first woman president of our Chamber of Commerce, and that was in 1970-something, which some of our Tri-Cities didn't see female leadership till the 90s. So very proud of Bristol in what we've done with supporting women in leadership roles. Women in politics and leadership roles, in business leadership roles, we're still a minority. I'm hoping that we'll continue to see some growth in that area. There's actually some less participation now than when Dot and Madison served. That's because today women are so much more in the work world, still raising families, have duties at home, and leadership in the work world where it's harder for them to have time to have some of the civic leadership roles. I think it is very important in some ways. I also think our natures are very much prepared for government leadership, for cooperation, for collaboration, just some of the different personality traits that you frequently find in women fit well with government leadership roles.